Ladies and gentlemen, may I invite Mr. Stefan Teuchert, President BMW Group Thailand, to deliver his speech and presentation on the future investment zone for the automotive industry.
Now it works. Okay, again, Sawadee Krap. First of all, I have to apologize that I'm the only speaker today who will hold his presentation in English, but I hope you will understand. And of course, the charts will help to give you the content which I would like to present. And at first, I would like to congratulate Manager Newspaper for our 35th anniversary. And BMW Group Thailand also will have 20th anniversary today, this year, so on the 3rd of October. And actually that's my birthday, so I will also have anniversary. It's a round one, but slightly higher than 35 years, I have to admit. Okay, before we come to BMW Thailand, please let's have a look at the global production network. The global production network consists out of 31st production sites in 40 countries, and within ASEAN you can see that we have 3 production sites here and 1 in India, so which means Southeast Asia is important for BMW worldwide and will be even more important in the future because we do see a growth potential for the next coming years. When we look into ASEAN, then of course we see the countries around, which is Malaysia. Here we have a joint venture, which is Indonesia, a small production place. Then we have a collaboration in Singapore, and also the regional head office is at the moment in Singapore. But there might be a chance that in the future this office will move to Thailand if we have further development in a positive way, what we can see already. And as Dr. Somkit mentioned in his speech, yes, we do see that the economy is catching up. We do see that we have a chance to gain the potential. When we invested 20 years ago in Thailand, in the production side, because we started actually in the year 2000 production in Rayong, it was after the famous Gung crisis. Yeah? You might remember that. And everybody was asking us why BMW is investing in Thailand after the crisis or during the crisis even. And I think we made the right decision. Because when we look in the past, when we look at the development of the business here in Thailand, we can see it was worthwhile to invest, and it will be worthwhile to invest in the future. Because Thailand is in the center of ASEAN. Thailand lays really very good when it comes to infrastructure, and Thailand has a big advantage because we have here an automotive industry which is established for many, many years. In Munich, not many people know that Thailand is ranked within the top 10, top 12 countries of production of cars. So this was even new for me when I came to Thailand. And therefore, we have a supplier infrastructure. We have an infrastructure which is good for the automotive industry today, and it will be important for the change of the industry in the future. And what Dr. Kanit also mentioned, the Apprenticeship Program, which we have initiated in 2012. That's an ongoing process. And I really would like to invite you also to think about that if you might be able to be part of that. Because it's not only one company, we are many companies already having apprenticeship programs, and it's important for the future because when we move to Industry 4.0, when Thailand is going the next step, we need the right people who are able to work in this industry, who have the operational experience. So the university degree alone will not help. We need the operational excellence and experience. In Europe, it's totally normal to have the dual vocational program, education program. In Thailand, we still have the situation that this dual vocational program is not accepted on the same level like the university degree. But to be honest, we need this kind of educated people for the future. And therefore, we are working together with the government, we are working together with EEC to further increase the level of apprentice participants for this program and even to scale it up to a higher level. Let's have a look at the footprint of BMW Group Thailand. Actually, we are consisting out of 3 legal entities. So we have the national sales company, we have financial services, and we have our production side, our plant in Rayong within the EEC. But we have many suppliers, we have the dealer network, and we even have an R&D center here, which is Tiger Tech in Bangkok. And Tiger Tech is meanwhile developing technologies for BMW for the world, not only for Thailand. We have an IPO, International Purchasing Office, and they are searching for suppliers in Thailand, for Thailand, in Thailand for ASEAN, but in Thailand for global utilization within our production network, which you have seen in the first page, which means Thailand is getting more and more important when it comes to global purchasing, when it comes to global R&D, and when it comes to global production, or at least within Southeast Asia. Investment of 4.2 billion Thai baht in the plant in the last years, and ongoing investment every year when it comes to new technology. Just shortly mention also CSR activities. Beside the apprenticeship program, we have a big program which is called Care for Water, which means we provide villages and people with water filter access to clear water, because in Thailand still many do not have access. And this is something where we think we can give something back to the society as a corporate citizen here in Thailand. If we come to our production, we increased in the last 3 years the level of models on the car side and on the motorrad side. So our plant here is producing cars and motorcycles. And as you can see here on the chart, meanwhile we have 19 and currently 17 different types of models which are produced in Rayong. And out of the 9 car models which we are producing, already 4 are plug-in hybrid cars. So which means the focus of BMW, not only worldwide, but especially in Thailand, goes to electrification, electrified mobility, and that means we have 4 car models already in Thailand, locally produced for our customers, and we will come later to the share. And last year it was the year where we are really proud, because first of all, we had a fantastic sales year. Dr. Somkit mentioned it already. So an increase of 43%, which is the highest growth rate for BMW all over the world. So it's the first time that Thailand was number 1 in percentage, not in absolute volume. But this is good. We need this attention from the headquarters. We need this positive results for future investment in Thailand, in ASEAN. And we can prove that the potential is here, and we are able to utilize this potential for BMW in the future. And with a production of 22,000 units last year, we reached the highest level of production we ever had before. Where do we deliver these cars? Currently, we have a share of 60% export, because we started exporting these cars to China, X5 to be very clear. Domestic market is 40%. But we do see an increase of this volume, so there is a chance in the future to even have a higher share of domestic if the export is somehow limited. For motorcycle, we have even a higher export share, because we have 50% delivered to ASEAN markets. So namely, we are delivering to Malaysia, to the Philippines, to Vietnam, but also to China, like on the car side. And what I mentioned before, the future mobility is electric. So all OEMs actually at the moment focusing on it. But if you look at Europe, if you look at the US, the share of electrified cars is still very low. It's still around 5%. But in Thailand, we do see a different development. In Malaysia, we do see a different development. What does it mean? On the one hand, we have to invest in the existing technology, which means combustion engines. to make them more efficient, to reduce CO2 pollution. On the other hand, we have to invest in future technology, which is plug-in hybrid technology and full electric cars. Everybody is announcing at the moment that we will have new electric models in the future. BMW is a pioneer here because we had our first full electric car 2013 already, which was the i3, and then followed by the famous designed BMW i8, which is a plug-in hybrid car, and it's still the dream of the small boys because they believe it's a kind of Batman car. And if they see it, it's highly emotional. But the bridging technology, plug-in hybrid, is important to reach the next step because the customers need to be educated. Customers are not jumping immediately into an electric car. They want to get an experience. What does it mean to drive electric? How can I charge the car? What is the power? Is there any risk for me? So it's not that they are waiting and standing in a queue and asking us to buy electric cars. So therefore, the plug-in hybrid technology, where you have a combination between a combustion engine and an electric engine, it's a good step forward to get this experience and also to build up the infrastructure, which is not really existing at the moment all over the world. So it's just in the beginning. And I always use this example. If you look at your smartphone or even at your two smartphones, which you might have, you are used to charge them every day, maybe not only one time, but many times. But you're not used to charge your car. So you have to be educated in that way. And it means it has to be easy for you. You have to have access at home. You have to have access at the shopping mall, at your condominium, at your office. And as long as this is not the fact, going electric is still, for many people, something where they are not secure. And this means we have to work on it as an OEM, but also as a society, as the government in a country like Thailand. Many people say how long it will take until the combustion engine is dead. Our internal assumption is it might be 2040. Some governments say it might be 2030 already. Some cities say maybe even 2025. Within a city and with the regulation you can do. But in this intermediate period of time, you have both. You have the current technology and you have the future technology. And on a certain time period, it will change. It will change to electric and it will change to new experience like autonomous driving, which is then the next part we are looking for. The big step forward using electromobility is we can reduce the CO2 pollution, which is the aim all over the world for many governments and for many manufacturers. Therefore, it's worthwhile to invest in this technology. If you look at this example, combustion engine 335e with 169 gram per kilometer, and then it goes down with the mild hybrid to 139, with the plug-in hybrid to 49, and of course with the full electric car down to 0 in the car. But of course you need to produce electricity somewhere, and if this is not renewable, it's also not 0. So we have to be clear here that it only works if you have renewable energy for the production, but also then for the utilization of the car. BMW Global CEO Harald Krüger has announced 2025 we will have 25 electrified models in our production range, and 50% out of them will be full electric. So on this chart you see plug-in hybrid, we have already many, and 4 are produced here in Thailand. Full electric, we have still 1, which is the i3, but 2019 we will get the Mini, 2020 the X3, and 2021 BMW iNext. And BMW iNext will consist out of the latest technology you will find then when it comes to connectivity, when it comes to autonomous driving. So that means if we are talking about 50%, it's around 8 full electric models in 2025 and around 8 to 9 which are then plug-in hybrid. And, 12. And what does it mean in regards of achievement? We started 2013, and from 2013 till 2016, we sold 100,000 electrified cars all over the world. In 2017, another 100,000. And the aim is that we will sell by 2019 around 500,000 cars in total, full electric, which is a very high share. And 2025, with the new model range, we might come to a percentage of 15 to 25%. It's not that much, right? But if we have 20%, then it's already 500,000 units a year, what we are now selling within 5 years. So it's ramping up. But if you look at Thailand, we have already achieved 13% this year. We tripled sales for plug-in hybrid this year. Malaysia has a share of 56% plug-in hybrid, and Nordic in Europe 27%. So which means there are some markets with a higher focus where the government is also focusing on electromobility. They can increase the share of electrified cars faster than you can see it all over the world. And this is good because here we are a role model. Thailand is a role model for other markets within Asia, within ASEAN, but also all over the world. And when we look at Thailand, when we look at EEC, what can we expect? What is our future picture here in Thailand? First of all, we have two areas where we're focusing. First one is sustainability. Sustainability means that on the one hand, electrification is going up. Renewable energy is important for that. But on the other hand, also the awareness of the customer, the awareness of governments in regards of sustainable mobility is getting bigger and bigger. Today, if you ask a customer why you buy a plug-in hybrid car, it's not because he would like to save the environment. It's because he would like to have a nice equipped car with a high power for a good price. Yeah? And that's the reason why a customer decides today for this car. Tomorrow, when he has the experience or she has the experience how to drive an electric car or plug-in hybrid car, and I have a good feeling because I do something good for the environment, right? So I have no problem. It's best of both. Then it's changing. Then maybe also the perception is changing that the customer might think different. If you look at Germany or European markets where people first experience full electric cars, they are totally surprised, positively surprised. High power, less maintenance costs, zero fuel consumption, just the energy. And if they have renewable energy available, they really have a good feeling. And if they only drive 40, 50 kilometers a day and they charge the car twice a week, it's so comfortable within a city. It's not comfortable if you want to drive from Bangkok to Chiang Mai. Yeah, so that's a different story. But within Bangkok, within Eastern Corridor and the new cities which are being developed in the future, why not? There is a chance to change mobility in the future. There's a chance to change education and perception for the users. And they will like it, they will love it. So therefore, we always say BMW has to be fun to drive. And therefore, we always aim for this good feeling that you have driving pleasure. On the other hand, we have digitalization, which means the cars are more connected to the environment. So we will launch Connected Drive this year. Autonomous driving, cars driving more or less alone in the future. So you are a passenger, but you still have the control about the car. And, of course, the utilization of car sharing. So there might be offers in new cities for car sharing, even here in Thailand. ACES, automated, connected, electrified, and shared. This is the future for the automotive industry, and we will see in the next 10 years more changes in the automotive industry than we have seen in the last 100 years of our history. That's a big challenge for us as well, because we have to invest on the one hand in the old technology still, but we have to invest in the new technology in the future. And where we want to do this, we want to do this in countries where we have a good infrastructure, where we have a good environment, and where we see that the government is supporting these ideas of future mobility. When it comes to autonomous driving, so we are in the middle of the development. So at the moment, it's half-half. In the future, what I said, maybe you can lay back and take a rest when the car is driving from Bangkok to Rayong or to Pattaya. Or maybe the car is going itself to pick you up at home. Sorry for the drivers, but there might be still the need for a personal driver to be driven here. So we will start battery assembly in Thailand in 2019, so we are ready to do this. There is one thing which is a bit difficult. There is no battery cell supplier available at the moment. So we are in a discussion with the government here. We need a battery cell supplier to make it more sustainable for the future, but we will start with the module assembly already for our plug-in hybrid cars, and this is the base for the future production of electric cars. When you ask me now, when will you start future production of electric cars? I don't know yet. My sab. But I can tell you, it's not so far away. If we have battery cell supplier, if we have the support of the infrastructure, if we have the supplier network ready, and we are working on it, maybe in 5 years we can start. But again, I don't know. High voltage needs also dedicated people who are able to deal with that. So we need to educate our mechanics, our mechatronics in that way. So therefore this educational program is even more important for us. And what I said, connectivity, connected drive, future autonomous driving is a chance for us. And with the infrastructure we are building on the site, so we launched Charge Now. Charge Now is our global network for charging the cars. We have 65,000 charging stations all over the world in 27 countries. In Thailand, we launched it in August last year together with some partners like Central Group, like Asian Property, Green Lots, and Polytech. And that means we will install up to 100 charging stations here in Bangkok and around Thailand for public charging, not only for BMW, but if you have type 1 or 2, you can charge there as well, but maybe you will then later decide to change to a BMW because you have more fun while driving this car, hopefully. And we are not only talking about electromobility on the streets, we're also talking about electromobility on the water, which is the second topic I would like to raise your attention. Torqeedo is the worldwide leader for electric engines on the water, and they use BMW batteries to drive their engines. And they do it with a good reason, because BMW batteries have a high quality and they are waterproof, so you can use them on the water. And in Southeast Asia, there's a big potential for water mobility with electric engines. Just think about all the hotels, all the taxis on the river. So it's not about electromobility on the street only. And with this picture, I would leave you now, and I hope I didn't stress the time too much. Thank you for your attention, and hope to see you soon when it comes to the next BMW or the next boat with an electric engine and BMW battery. ขอบคุณมากครับ
Thank you very much. Mr. Stefan Teuchert, the president of the BMW Group ประเทศไทยค่ะจะขออนุญาตแปลสรุปเนื้อหาที่คุณสเตฟานได้กล่าวเมื่อสักครู่นี้นะคะประเทศ BMW นั้นก็มีฐานการผลิตในหลายๆประเทศทั่วโลกนะคะและแน่นอนรวมถึงอาเซียนและในประเทศไทยด้วยนะคะซึ่ง BMW ก็ได้เลือกประเทศไทยในช่วงวิกฤตเศรษฐกิจต้มยำกุ้งนะคะแล้วก็เริ่มผลิตรถยนต์ที่โรงงานที่ระยองเมื่อปี 2000 ค่ะซึ่งเหตุผลที่ตัดสินใจในช่วงนั้นก็เป็นเพราะว่าประเทศไทยนั้นมีโครงสร้างพื้นฐานแล้วก็มี supply chain ที่เข้มแข็งรวมไปถึงศักยภาพของคนไทยด้วยที่จะมาทำงานร่วมกันทั้งระดับปริญญานะคะที่สำคัญก็คือระดับอาชีวศึกษานั่นเองค่ะซึ่ง BMW เองก็ได้ทำงานร่วมกับภาครัฐของไทยมาตลอด20 ปีที่ผ่านมานะคะ BMW นั้นก็ให้ความสำคัญกับประเทศไทยเป็นอย่างมากนะคะก็มีทั้งสำนักงานขายมีโรงงานผลิตของตัวเองเลยนะคะแล้วก็ต้องบอกว่า whole own คือลงทุนทั้งหมดนะคะไม่ได้เป็นแบบ joint venture เหมือนกับในประเทศมาเลเซียก็จะเป็นลักษณะแบบ joint venture แต่ว่าในประเทศไทยเราก็ลงทุนทั้งหมดนะคะซึ่งก็อยู่ที่ระยองแล้วก็อยู่ในเขต EEC ด้วยค่ะโดยปีที่ผ่านมานะคะ BMW ก็ได้ผลิตรถยนต์ถึง9รุ่นนะคะแล้วก็มีมอเตอร์ไซค์หรือว่ามอเตอร์ราดเนี่ย8รุ่นในประเทศไทยนะคะซึ่งรถยนต์4รุ่นนั้นเป็นแบบ plug-in hybrid นะคะซึ่งเป็นทั้งฐานการผลิตเพื่อใช้ในประเทศแล้วก็ส่งออกด้วยนะคะสำหรับรถยนต์เนี่ยก็จะมีตลาดหลักเลยก็อยู่ที่ประเทศจีนนะคะการผลิตรถยนต์เนี่ยเพื่อใช้ในประเทศไทยด้วยแล้วก็ส่งออกด้วยนะคะแล้วส่วนมอเตอร์ไซค์หรือว่ามอเตอร์ราดนั้นสัดส่วนการส่งออกแล้วก็จำหน่ายในประเทศนี้ก็ครึ่งเลยทีเดียวค่ะสำหรับถ้ามองถึงอุตสาหกรรมยานยนต์ในอนาคตแล้วเนี่ยแน่นอนทุกคนก็ต้องนึกถึงเรื่องของรถยนต์ไฟฟ้าใช่ไหมคะซึ่ง BMW เองเนี่ยก็ได้พัฒนาให้รถยนต์ยังมีทั้งแบบเทคโนโลยีเก่าก็คือแบบสันดาปอยู่นะคะแล้วก็มีแบบเทคโนโลยีใหม่ซึ่งก็เดินหน้าไปสู่รถยนต์ไฟฟ้าด้วยนะคะรวมไปถึงรถยนต์ไฟฟ้าแบบเต็มรูปแบบที่เขาเรียกว่าBattery EV หรือว่า BEV นั่นเองนะคะรวมไปถึงเทคโนโลยีที่จะเกิดขึ้นในช่วงเปลี่ยนผ่านด้วยช่วงเปลี่ยนผ่านก็จะเป็นรถยนต์แบบ Plug-in Hybrid ค่ะซึ่งปัจจัยสำคัญก็คือต้องมีการเสียบปลั๊กเพื่อชาร์จไฟนะคะแล้วเมื่อใดถ้ารถไฟฟ้าถึงจะมานั้นคำถามนี้หลายท่านก็ถามมากนะคะทางมิสเตอร์สเตฟานก็บอกว่าหลายท่านมองว่าน่าจะเป็นปี2030บางคนก็มองว่าอาจจะเป็นปี2040คือไกลไปกว่านั้นและบางคนก็มองว่าจะเกิดขึ้นใกล้ๆนี้ด้วยซ้ำก็คือปี2025นะคะแต่ว่าทั้งนี้ทั้งนั้นเนี่ยก็ต้องขึ้นอยู่กับนโยบายแล้วก็โครงสร้างพื้นฐานอีกด้วยค่ะซึ่งข้อดีของรถในอนาคตนั้นก็คือเรื่องของค่า CO2 นะคะก็คือการปล่อยมลพิษนั้นต้องบอกว่าจะลดลงเรื่อยๆแล้วก็เหตุผลสำคัญก็คือเพื่อการใส่ใจต่อสิ่งแวดล้อมนะคะโดย BMW นั้นก็ต้องบอกว่ามีแผนที่จะผลิตและจำหน่ายรถยนต์ไฟฟ้าทั้งแบบ BEV แล้วก็แบบ PHEV คือทั้งแบบBattery EV แล้วก็แบบ Plug-in Hybrid ด้วยเช่นเดียวกันทั้งหมด25รุ่นในปี2025อีกด้วยนะคะปี2025นะคะและถ้าดูถึงแนวโน้มของรถยนต์ไฟฟ้าเนี่ยก็ต้องบอกว่ามาเร็วมากนะคะซึ่งในปี2013เนี่ยนะคะ BMW สามารถจำหน่ายรถยนต์ในกลุ่มรถยนต์ไฟฟ้าเนี่ยได้ตั้ง 100,000 คันเลยทีเดียวนะคะแต่ว่าในปี 2017 เนี่ยทั้งปีนะคะยอดขายก็ 100,000 คันเข้าไปแล้วนะคะคือยอดขายเติบโตอย่างรวดเร็วมากนะคะและตลาดที่ตอบรับเทคโนโลยีนี้ได้รวดเร็วมากที่สุดในอาเซียนนั้นก็บอกว่ามี2ประเทศหลักๆก็คือ1คือมาเลเซียแล้วก็ประเทศไทยค่ะซึ่งถือว่าเรานั้นรับกับตลาดนี้ได้อย่างรวดเร็วนะคะส่วนถ้าดูที่อื่นๆในโลกก็มีประเทศในกลุ่มสแกนดิเนเวียค่ะซึ่งเทคโนโลยีที่กำลังมาในอนาคตเนี่ยนะคะต้องบอกว่าแนวโน้มจะเป็นแบบนี้ค่ะ4แนวโน้มหลักๆค่ะก็คือ autonomous ก็คือแบบรถอัตโนมัติเลยอาจจะถึงขั้นว่าไร้คนขับด้วยซ้ำนะคะแล้วก็อีกแนวโน้มหนึ่งคือ connected มีการเชื่อมโยงเทคโนโลยีกับดิจิทัล electrify ค่ะคือรถขับเคลื่อนด้วยไฟฟ้าแล้วก็อีกแนวโน้มหนึ่งก็คือ sharing นะคะก็คือการแบ่งปันกันใช้รถยนต์ค่ะซึ่งหัวใจสำคัญของรถยนต์ไฟฟ้าก็คือแบตเตอรี่นะคะซึ่ง BMW ก็มีแผนการที่จะผลิตแบตเตอรี่ในประเทศไทยนะคะแต่ว่าชิ้นส่วนหลักที่ไทยเนี่ยที่ยังผลิตยังไม่ได้อยู่นะตอนนี้ก็คือเซลล์แบตเตอรี่นั่นเองค่ะในส่วนของสถานีชาร์จไฟนั้น BMW ก็ได้มีการร่วมมือกับพาร์ทเนอร์นะคะในการติดตั้งสถานีชาร์จกว่า100สถานีในปีนี้ภายใต้ชื่อโครงการว่า Charge Now นะคะซึ่งก็สามารถใช้ชาร์จได้กับรถยนต์ทุกค่ายอีกด้วยค่ะรวมถึงอนาคตนะคะก็ทาง BMW นั้นก็จะร่วมกับช็อกโจนะคะในการผลิตเรือไฟฟ้าไร้มลพิษโดยการใช้เทคโนโลยีของทาง BMW ด้วยค่ะนี่ก็เป็นเนื้อหาสาระนะคะที่ทางมิสเตอร์สเตฟานได้มีการกล่าวบรรยายเมื่อสักครู่นี้ค่ะเราก็จะได้เห็นถึงแนวโน้มในอนาคตสำหรับอุตสาหกรรม ยานยนต์ซึ่งเรากำลังมุ่งหน้าสู่รถยนต์แบบไฟฟ้านั่นเองค่ะเอาละค่ะเราก็มาถึงช่วงสุดท้ายของงานสัมมนาในวันนี้แล้วนะคะท้ายที่สุดนี้ก็หวังว่าทุกท่านค่ะก็จะได้รับทราบถึงทั้งนโยบายทิศทางและพลังการขับเคลื่อนของภาคอุตสาหกรรมธุรกิจร่วมกันพลิกโฉมพื้นที่ตะวันออกสู่การพัฒนาแบบก้าวกระโดดนะคะต้องขอกราบขอบพระคุณผู้เข้าร่วมสัมมนาทุกท่านวิทยากรนะคะรวมไปถึงแขกผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านตลอดจนสื่อมวลชนนะคะที่ได้เข้าร่วมสัมมนาค่ะสำหรับแบบสอบถามนะคะทุกท่านสามารถที่จะส่งคืนให้กับเจ้าหน้าที่ที่ลงทะเบียนหน้างานได้เลยนะคะถ้าท่านมีคำถามหรือว่ามีความคิดไหนใดๆนะคะเราก็จะมีฟีดแบ็กกลับไปอย่างทุกท่านด้วยค่ะสำหรับวันนี้หมดเวลาแล้วก็หมดหน้าที่ของดิฉันแล้วนะคะต้องขอบคุณและสวัสดีค่ะ